Hi, my name is Rizky from acreativealt, and in this video I'm going to show you how to transform this small camera into an affordable yet very practical video production rig. I recorded a video earlier this year on the camera that I would buy if I were to start my photography and video production career in 2020. In that particular video, I was recommending to buy a Sony A6500. And of course, I do understand that they have launched two new cameras after 6500, which is the 6600 and 6400. However, if you don't actually use the additional features on any of those cameras, I do believe that A6500 is still the best option for you to buy. This is camera that we always mount on a gimbal, or if I actually need to have a roving cameras on a rig that I'm going to show you in this particular video. I also recorded another video whereby I highlighted why people actually use the big cameras instead of the small one like this. There are definitely many benefits in having a small camera. The size is definitely the first reason why I decided to move to mirrorless in the first place. But of course, there are many things that we can actually do to make this much more practical when you actually use it for a project. I do believe these types of a rig system is really ideal to shoot a few types of projects, and those are events, weddings, documentary style of video production. In my case, events, video productions and photography has always been my bread and butter for years prior to COVID-19 period. Whenever we do our projects, my main concern is the fact that we don't have a lot of times to do the setup, particularly for events. And I do believe, although I don't do weddings, but I do assume that weddings is more or less the same as events, whereby you basically want something that is pretty light, easy to set up and fast. And of course, it's also the fact that many clients are still believe that the bigger the camera, the better the quality. So the first thing that you need to buy is actually a cage. This basically becomes some sort of a skeleton on your particular rig. I did a lot of exploration when I actually started building up the rig, and this is what I would like to recommend. This is actually the Smallrig that is designed specifically for the Sony A6 series. So this actually fits A6500, A64 or even the new A6600 because they basically use the same body. Just to give a bit of a comparison, this is actually the cage that I actually use if we're actually shooting a proper corporate videos or advertising. This is a more generic types of cage whereby you can actually mount a bigger camera to it. This actually fits the full frame mirrorless camera with the battery grip nicely. I added on a preamp that you can actually mount a proper microphone to this, and of course a screen. So I do believe for events, weddings and documentary productions, the most important thing is actually being mobile and portable. I don't think this types of setup is actually practical, so this is not something that I would bring to events. And this is very practical because you can easily change the battery and also the SD cards without actually removing this cage. So once you put it on your camera, you can see that it actually fits your camera pretty nicely. The best thing about this, of course, the fact that it actually enhances the grip. This is something that I kind of miss sometimes from a DSLR, but we have a really good body balance, and also the fact that it has a better grip. The main reason why you actually need a cage is the fact that it has a lot of these threads. Instead of just having a hot shoe, you have all these different threads that you can actually mount different accessories that you need. So the camera looks much nicer in my opinion. So now you can see the camera on the lens that I would recommend to buy. If you are an A6 series user, Sony APSC system, maybe the only lens that you need to buy if you are doing video productions for events, weddings or documentary style productions, which is the Sony 1815. This is the base of our setup. The next thing that I'm going to add to this is of course a shoulder rig. Whenever we do a roving types of video productions, is either we use a gimbal or a shoulder rig. And of course, in this video, I'm going to show you what kind of shoulder rig that I would recommend. In the past, I actually explored a lot of different shoulder rigs, including those that you can dismantle it. It comes in the different parts and you just assemble together and become a shoulder rig. To be honest, I don't really like those type. I will actually put the photos there, but some people actually really like it because you can customize it easier. But I do find it hassle for me because I always think that it is important for us to be able to set up very fast. Our setup times whenever we are doing these types of roving video is actually about half an hour, so I want to be able to quickly do the setup as fast as possible. It has to be mobile and has to be light to carry. So this is the shoulder rig that I would like to recommend. It's just a cheap brandless rig. A lot of people actually call this spider rig. I think you can find this for about 30 or 40 US dollars. What I really like about this, beside the fact that this is so affordable, is the fact that it's so simple and it's so easy to carry. It's basically just almost like a one piece of metal that you don't need to assemble it, you just need to open it up. This has been with me for about 4 years and it's still running really strong. I never had any problem with any of this. So I can simply just open this up. And it becomes a shoulder rig, and there are a lot of different combinations. Sometimes you can actually use it like this to take a lower angle, use this as a top handle like this. So there are a lot of many different usage for this particular rig. So the next thing is of course audio solutions. My favorite audio solutions on Sony cameras is actually this, which is the Sony XLR attachment. I can't remember what's exactly the model number, but I will actually put it on the description below. But basically this gives you the capabilities of a bigger ENG style camera, whereby you can actually mount a proper XLR microphone with this. Although I do have a bit of a complaint with this particular device, is the fact that it used up your hot shoe. It's a good thing, but it's not a good thing. A good thing, the fact that you don't actually need another cable to go through into your camera. But the bad thing about this is the fact that it would be ideal to have another cold shoe mount here, so you can actually mount mics or any other accessories here, or probably a monitor or something. I do find this is very practical solutions for audio in a Sony camera. But the problem about this is the fact that, of course, this device is actually pretty expensive. If I remember correctly, this is actually about 700 Singapore dollars, which you can actually buy a lot of good microphones with that. So, and you can probably get another types of a device like the one that I actually use on my other camera, which is what I normally use for our proper corporate video productions or advertising. This actually serves as a preamp, and the preamp comes out from this particular device. It's actually it's really good. It actually minimizes the noise at the same time. But of course, with this affordable rig and of course our simple solutions for this particular rig that we are currently building in this video, I would recommend another microphone. This is a Rode Video Mic Go, which is probably the most affordable models that you can find out of the Rode Mic solution. I do find this is very practical because the fact it comes with the dead cat, which is actually the noise reducer and the wind canceller. This actually helps a lot whenever, especially when you're actually shooting outdoor. It actually cuts through a lot of the wind noise very significantly. This microphone is super light, so it doesn't actually add too much weight to your particular rig. So imagine if you're actually shooting 8 hours a day back to back with a big rig. I do think it's really tiring. So with this, it actually it doesn't translate to a lot of additional weight to your particular camera. And of course, I will always bring a backup, so I will bring the H4n or the H1n. So this is actually the light that I always bring in any types of projects that we do, because the fact that this is really light and it has a easily rechargeable, and actually the power lasts pretty long. There are many instances but I simply use it as a light test. I will do something like this on site to find the light angle that is suitable. The light are always mounted on this magic arm, which is a clamp, so I can easily clamp it to the rig. And of course, I can easily adjust the positions of the light accordingly. If you're doing events, weddings, or even documentary, I do think that this setup is actually really practical. It's still pretty light, it's very fast to set up, and at the same time, it will actually enhance your A6500 into a more practical camera and looks a little bit more complicated, so that your client can actually trust you more. To be honest, I can't really remember how much I actually spent with all the accessories, but I will actually give the detail at the description below. And if you have any other tips on creating an affordable rig, hope you can let me know at the comment down below. And what do you think about this type of rig? Is this something that you would like to use? With that, I hope this video is useful. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.